What is Agyapadeɛ? Apparently, what it is all about state capture. And I hope to God not, because it will never happen that Ghanaians will sit down and allow anybody to capture the state, even if they have started in Kudubebia. Trust me, because if that happens, folks, if in fact January 7th, after the election, and whoever is in power, and the country is under state capture, trust me, and mark this on the wall anywhere you want it. Quote this date that KSM said that if by January 7th a new government has come in and we are under state capture, either the government or the opposition, but the bottom line is that we have come in and we are under state capture. Trust me, within 6 months, could be shorter, but it won't be more than 6 months of the new government coming to power, we are going to experience an explosion of violence, eruption in this country that we have never witnessed before. Mukaseme Jimmy, whatever you want to say it. But after you finish saying it, mark this date that you're watching this program on the wall, and trust me that if by January 7th we have gone through with the elections and everything, and the state is under state capture, either by the government in power or not in power, in a position, but still has a state, I am telling you, we are going to experience an eruption, the likes of which we have never experienced before in this country. I kid you not. And then go with it. I have just about a few minutes to finish what I'm saying here. But the anger that is seeping in Ghana now is not like the junior ranks or anything. It's the average man on the street, frustrated and looking for a way out. And I'm telling you, folks, this is not good. This is the kind of eruption that desperation, anger, frustration causes. So when I'm sitting here saying this to all of us Ghanaians, that whatever we do, you and I should make sure that we do not sit down and get anything in motion called state capture. I'm telling you this because I know that when there is in fact a state capture, within 6 months of the new administration, the eruption, it will make June 4th look like June 4th Friday, and a watch party. It will make June 4th look like a watch party. I kid you not. So I say today, Reverend Lawrence said, let me borrow words, this nonsense of state capture must stop. Shall I say it one more time? This nonsense must stop. So let me say it again, and folks, pardon me, let me take my glasses off for this one. Let me say it again. Eyeball to eyeball, folks. This nonsense must stop. It's like you have a choice. Okay, you're going into an election and there is a choice. There's a path that you can take to prosperity and rebuilding our country and lifting this country up. And there's a path that we can take, and we know that this is going to lead to anarchy and chaos. And then we sit down quietly and say, so, and let us try the anarchy and chaos. That's how it feels like to me. Let us not joke with this, please. Sometimes, actually, what kind of people are Ghanaians? Can you imagine any other African country or any other third world country where there's that the
Finally, my family is free because of Rome Villa Estate. Yes, this estate is responsible for selling affordable litigation-free lands that have electricity, water, and accessible roads. I am so happy.
Government wants to take over they capture the state so that they can use the state apparatus to rule. People are saying this, and everybody's going about nicely, getting money. I could talk watch Eddie, I could talk go, but everything is cool. Can you imagine? Only in Ghana. But I'm telling you, even in Ghana, don't take it lightly. I remember one time I did the show, Mr. Kumye. We don't seem to be worried, or it's not visibly coming out as worried. Somebody called me and he said something I will never ever forget. Let me share with you what the person told me. I said, KSM, all these things that we're hearing about, state capture, all these scary things that it seems that Ghanaians are taking it cool, and you people think say Ubiaye cool. No. He says, do you know what the silence means? You say, no, tell me. Or say Ghanaians are telling us to listen to what we are not saying. America focus, God damn it, that's deep. Ghanaians are telling us, you say we are quiet. No, listen to what we are not saying. Deep. Think about it. Folks, don't take the state capture of the media as a joke, man. When the media is in the grips of a dictator, whenever the media is in the grips of a dictator, and to top that up, so is the judiciary. When the media and the judiciary collapse because they have been captured by the state and they are under the grips of a dictator, what happens is called anarchy. I kid you not, because our last resort as a people is the law. Our last resort as the people is to have a media that is out there defending us. We've been media saying for the people. The media is out there for us. If the media is not there, the judiciary is there to back us. When the media and the judiciary are collapsed under state capture, what happens is people that actually let us take the law into our own hands. What follows is chaos and anarchy. This is not good, folks. This nonsense must stop. My next edition, my next episode, that is free advice going to all Agyapong. I have some free advice, and the title of that show is "What Do We Do with JB Dankwa?" You can't miss this show. And trust me, you don't even have to be an Agyapong person to want to listen to this show that I'm going to be doing. I can't JB Dankwa. Yeah, for JB, whatever. I'm saying that the title of my next show is "What Do We Do with JB Dankwa?" I have some amazing free advice. But before then, let me tell you, please, I beg you, this nonsense must stop. So the president says this whole Agyapadeɛ talk, blah, this thing is being designed by some NDC people. Very surprising. But let's move on. I want you to understand what I mean by this whole thing is an amorphous, brainless thing that is happening. One thing, even my own chief, I'm out here for opinion. Amotia is my chief. He is on the cover of this Agyapadeɛ thing. I'm saying thing right now because as we speak now, nobody knows what it is. You can't even identify where it came from. It is this phantom thing that is blowing all over. Our chief is on the cover of Agyapadeɛ. And he says he has no idea about it. He says he heard about this thing long ago. It is a fabrication. It is false. Timothy, from two very, very powerful sources, the president said there's some NDC couples that are misbehaving, doing those silly things. He says he has no idea about it, but in fact, this document started floating even some time ago, some years back, and things. This is my worry. With all respects, Nana, you have seen your honorable face on the cover of this so-called Agyapadeɛ thing that you say is fake. You say it's fabricated. So there's no substance to it. What baffles me, and pardon me if I'm exaggerating, but what baffles me is that I have not heard anything from you or from your office or from the palace. Charlie, the Motia has discovered that his face has been put on this document called Agyapadeɛ. He has no clue where it came from. It is fake. It's a fabrication. Anka, I expected that though. I wanted to hear that kind of denouncement that your honorable face has been put on this document that you know nothing about. And I haven't heard that vehement disassociation from it, that this thing is wrong, and then we are going to get to the bottom of those culprits who are behind this thing, because this has nothing to do with me. I didn't hear that. I'm sorry. Okay, so there's that. And even with the president's denial, I didn't hear that he's going to put the FBI or BNI or whatever to make sure that they get to the bottom of this, because this is bad. This is very, very bad. That's why I'm saying this whole Agyapadeɛ has become an amorphous thing that you can't understand at all. Okay? The third thing that baffles me is this. Let me give the president the benefit of the doubt and say, yes, this is politics, because politics there, you can't rule out anything. No, you can't. Anything is possible in politics, especially under now that we have AI, artificial intelligence. You'll be amazed at what people can sit down and craft with artificial intelligence, put your voice on, put your face on, and do things that will completely destroy you, that you have no clue about that. So I understand. So I'm willing to give the president, Nana Amotia, the benefit of the doubt. Maybe there are some corporates who are doing this, trying to badmouth you. Okay, fine. Let's accept that. But when you think about it, folks, something doesn't quite make sense as well. Let me give them the benefit of the doubt and let's say, yes, in fact, this thing is being done by some NDC people. But watch the implementation. Every step of the implementation is something that is an additional benefit to the NPP. So, Pacho, help me.
Finally, my family is free because of Vi0l3 estate. Yes, this estate is responsible for selling affordable litigation-free lands that have electricity, water, and accessible roads. I am so happy.
Think about this, you have a bunch of frustrated clowns from the NDC trying to frustrate the MPP. So they set in motion a series of events which happen to be doing things that are favorable to the MPP. Just it. Or perhaps, Ghana, we have been doing everything trying to get into the Guinness Book of World Records or whatever they call it. Maybe we want to get into the Guinness Book of Records as the only country with the most amazing bipartisan collaboration. It's an amazing bipartisan collaboration that the NDC would decide to go and do something to damage the MPP. So they take on this act and do things, but they're not damaging the MPP. They are doing things that will actually enhance the agenda of the MPP. Maybe a bipartisan collaboration, I'm not sure. The bottom line is this. There are certain things going on, and I'm looking you in the face today, folks. I'm begging you, this nonsense must stop. First of all, let me take just a quick minute to tell you why I am saying this nonsense must stop. Okay, two things. State capture means two things. It can mean that the government in power has captured all these state institutions. The government has the military, they have the judiciary, they have the legislature, they have the media. They have captured all these institutions. If there's any government in power which is able to capture these institutions, do you know what happens? On the surface, it looks like it's a democratic government. But underneath it, a government that has captured all state institutions is nothing else but a dictatorship, an autocracy of the highest order. So either way you look at it, if you say that it's a state capture being done by the government in power, what it means is that eventually they are setting up a dictatorship, an autocracy. Abaya, the judiciary is under them, the security is under them, the media is under them. Folks, this is nothing less than autocracy of the highest order. Okay, let's say it's not the government. Say Abaya, say Bianyonwa. So let us assume that maybe perhaps it's the opposition. So imagine a state where those in the opposition are the ones that have access to all these state institutions. They are not in government too, but they have access to the control of all these institutions. Do you know what happens? It's called anarchy. Because in a state like that, the nation becomes ungovernable. So two things I'm making. Let me wrap on these two things I'm talking about. Number one, if there's any government in power that has captured all the state institutions, trust me, that government is a dictatorship. It's an autocracy. It is deadly. On the other hand, if it's not the government in power, but somehow the opposition is the one that has been able to capture all these institutions and is controlling them, then trust me, the government is in trouble because the nation is ungovernable. So for so much in the mechanism, either way you look at it, if, as people are saying now, it is the MPP making an attempt at capturing the state, that's what they are saying. On radio, on TV, everywhere. That's what they are saying. I won't mention any names. You know them. That's what is out there. If it is true that in fact is the MPP behind the state capture, if they should win and if you're saying break the 8 and become the next government, which is coming with all state institutions captured by them, trust me, we're looking at autocracy and dictatorship of the highest order. On the other hand, as you see, if the MPP is not able to come back to power and they are in opposition, however, even in opposition, they've been able to capture all these state institutions in the sense that they are thumb. Then whoever's in power is looking at the situation that we call ungovernable.